thanks to Dr. Kong, your notes also, I also refer to your previous notes, and then I mix a bit in a very quick way. So this is a summary of types of literature. I know because you want to write chapter 2, outline it first and outline, oh, this part I want to say this, that part I want to say this. But before you outline, you must have a lot of things here. You read, and then you also gotten some input from various people. Okay, and then you read also, and then you have maybe 5 main references, related references. So you identified some key one, okay, and skim through. Just now, some of your friends also say skimming through. Okay, oh, this one quite relevant, and this one also very relevant. Highlight. Print it out is better lah. So we prefer to be reports, official reports, government's reports, or maybe some company white papers. Some company also produce some papers, and then magazine articles related to your area, and then journals articles, of course, which is reviewed or also read through by a community group, the editors, the reviewers. So those articles are justified, of good quality, and they report about a research findings. So use that. Okay, so don't give us a lot, and then your references are also full of, wow, so many, and then so long of your website URL, like very long, until 5 sentences long of the website URL. Okay, so that is not so good. Sometimes, many things that we write about is not like very, it got to be in context, with the research topics that you are writing about. Of course, many topics or themes, like for example, technological methods, IoT, or maybe virtual reality, advertising, communications, all these can be standard context, lack context, non-contextual related lah. Some write-up can be non-contextual related, but a lot of knowledge area is within the context of the certain culture. Like I have talked to Fatin Hannah for numerous times. So the topics about stylish hairstyles and the creativity of hairstylish, okay, hairstyle, okay, that kind. It's also culturally related, and interpreting the beauty of hairstyle and the common practice of hairstyle, okay, in certain culture. So those aspects also related to certain culture, certain locality, or certain geographical area. Okay, so usually for Asia region, we also quite like to read more in terms of how our culture. So you need to give us more context about Asia culture, especially Malaysia culture. Yeah, for our students, we want you to build up your understanding about Malaysia culture. Okay, I mean the ethnicity, okay, of Malaysia, and we have 3 main ethnicity in the country, living with certain fusion of the Malaysian culture. So that kind can be different. Okay. So sometimes your writing, we also like you to skew it to local interest, to the interest of our reading. And then you can do comparison, of course, with Western culture. Okay. So so type of review, usually we want to do review, and there are a few types of review. So some very basic one, we read and then we annotate. We take these notes. Okay, we can include these notes in our literature. Okay, so annotated bibliography lah. Annotated bibliography. Okay, you can focus on individual source. Okay. Okay. And then for certain types of review, we do summary or paraphrase. We summary it. Okay, summary. Okay. Some we do another higher level. We summary. We use those summary. We use those summary. We do synthesis. We do synthesis. Okay. So for annotated bibliography is individual source only lah. Every source of every paper that you have. So summary, you sum up what has been done for the topics of the interest on that particular theme. Like for synthesis, what needs to be done based on what has been done by others. You don't just like summary. If you summary of various sources, so you can get summary. But synthesis, you put in your voice. It means here you put in your active thoughts into what has been done based on what needs to be done based on what has been done under your synthesis. Okay, so annotated bibliography, each sources appear once only. So when you annotate, so only one source, describe a source and then the next one by one. And then you explain what has been done, may include criticism of the quality of the works that has been done. So very one by one basis. However, in the summary, so you may cite sources more than once. You can cite source more than once on that theme, that particular key topics. For example, delivery mode of higher education. I can cite a few from public U, and then from research university, from teaching-based university. What do they do? So things like that. And then just cite sources and then summarize what has been done. Answer a research questions. Yeah, this one's straightforward if you have like research questions, so you can do summary and answer it. However, another level, which is synthesis, there is a kind of skills that we need also. So in synthesis, sources may be cited many times, here and there. Here, okay, this part, and then also bring it to the next part. Okay, also mention about the relationship, like just now I mentioned, relationship of a video game with dreams. So a few study like Dandy, Haswan, and also that person also. All three. Three of these. Mention sources may be cited many times. Okay. And then of course when you write, you also critique what has been done, justify the need for research to fill in a gap in the field. This is the ultimate writing, usually in literature synthesis. Okay, because we want to defend and give strong justification of why this research needs to be done. That the one that we propose, right? So of course, based on the literature that I have mentioned, for example, like higher education, the delivery mode, okay, from different time frame, different MCO time, so different way of delivery, sometimes face-to-face, sometimes all hybrid, and then sometimes come back again MCO, and then also do another online, fully online like that. So we can justify that it is uncertain, very uncertain for the students and also for the lecturers in terms of higher education delivery. So something needs to be done to address that kind of issues. Then I will say like that, because there are so many evidence of resources showing uncertainty lah. So those are the resources that can support my point. So I want to do a final position to say about the gap lah. It is time to finalize, or maybe to come out to produce a guideline or a principal guideline on higher education delivery mode. So that's an example lah. So literature synthesis, so like what I say just now, it is more than that. It is higher level of it. So it involves, of course, basic like annotated bibliography. Okay, so literature review is not just annotated bibliography. Okay, when you write your chapter 2 literature review section, your goal is to integrate and synthesize what you find in the literature. Okay, make sure you have your detailed outline. Okay, you must have your outline lah. How you want to position the main point, sub-point, main theme, sub-theme, like that, in the logical sequence. Okay. Some of you wanted to write maybe historical chronology, also can. Give a history perspective, also can. Okay. So history after that only comes to the current or maybe contemporary status. I mean the time. Okay, current time. Okay, that will be quite a logical flow as well. Okay. And synthesis integrates information from two or more, not just one or two or more sources to demonstrate how the research works together. Okay, like for example, the relationship between video games and dreams and dream lucidity, right? So 3 references, 3 sources actually mention about that. Okay, in my example just now lah. So 3, I have 3. I forgot the name, Genkenbert, and then Dandy, and then Haswan, the example that I give lah. So 2 or more saying about the same thing. So that's why we have to further look at that relationship, because the relationship is quite confirmed based on previous study. Okay. Think of synthesis as a smooth integration of the parts, like very smoothly that you arrange, and then it's not like abruptly present different ideas. So I used to see example of very abrupt, like not a coherent, but not a smooth reading experience. So they put first paragraph is by Woods, 2020, mention what, and then second paragraph they write Kong's research has shown what, and then the next paragraph they show Ku pula, Ku, and then what like that. So this is considered as a very fragment paragraph lah. Fragment paragraph. I used to see this like very fragmented summary like that. So just sum up, Woods, Kong, Ku, like that. And then each idea also not integrated, not smoothly arranged in the logical sense. And then every time first sentence is Woods, 2020. And then a second paragraph also start with Kong 2020, and then the whole of it is what Kongs is talking about. For example, okay, like that. Then the next one, cool, same thing. Cool, talk about what, like that. So like this is fragment, fragment, not cohesively gel together or integrate together. So we do not want to see this kind of fragment right up, if possible. Possible. So you need to use your voice, your thoughts to type them up, and then of what you want to say. So it is your voice to lead that writing, not to be dragged by the literature review. Your flow of your thoughts, your voice, okay? You no need to say, I would like, I position that, no need. You can just use third-party voice, like third-party ways of writing. If you needed to, usually for formal writing, I just mentioned normally, researcher, you yourself can refer yourself as the researcher. The researcher has positioned that, you can say that. The researcher has made a position, sometimes no need to mention it purposely. So the way that you write, you can always say, in summary, this research, you always put this research, this study is the focal point, of what you want to write. This study has positioned two research objectives or two research questions. Firstly is to look at the general aspect of how culture has an influence on something like that. Secondly, the research will look into what like that. So you put the central focus is your research, literature search. So usually our process, right? The previous week you already done literature search. Our lecture also support them. Like last week about literature review, that part, right? So you know where to get the resources, where to library, where to get those literature, full text. Okay, so when you read, you have to identify key ideas and elements, and then you have to organize it. You have to organize. Oh, this point, it got to be put in section 2.3. Oh, this point, section 2.1. This point is about various challenges. Maybe some articles written by some ministry personnel about higher education. Maybe so we can cite, oh, this one, challenges faced. This one, okay, comes to technology, hybrid technology enable that. So this one put under here. So you organize it. At last, you synthesize. You know roughly, oh, this one here. So I want to write something about technologies enable delivery. Then at the ending part of your summary of your literature review, under the summary, usually you build case for your new research, for your current research that you want to write about. Okay. The simulation of that idea is like this. It's like this. You have a key info in key info Z. Every key info you have in a cut-based method. Cut-based methods. So this one for source A, source B, source C, like that. And then you arrange different sources, all talk about current issues. Current issues you place under category current issues, the blue one. And then on the technology aspect, okay, the green one. So this is a strategist. You need a strategist. So I would advise you to use cut-based cut paste. You can do it digitally, but it doesn't really need to be a cut. So you can use like files or maybe text file, or yeah, maybe just in one whole Word document. The main idea is to categorize it. Categorize. You know, you can copy paste your key point one from source A, source B, source C. You can write it in the text, right? And then you just paste it category 1, paste category 2. Okay. So I want to highlight about this YouTube. You can take a look. Yeah, this YouTube view lah. This YouTube, which I extract their slides here. So I cite them. I give credit to Chamney, Francis Chamney. So I also do a proper format for citing YouTube based on APA. For each house or each category, you write it out lah. You write the logical flow of the information. You mean the subcut, right? You have to rearrange your flow of your thoughts, your voice that you want to say. Okay, you can either like sometimes you give a little critiques on certain points. Okay, and then you also give some critique lah. Sometimes the opposite point of view also need to be included lah. And then compare and contrast. Then you can at the end you can have your last paragraph to justify one. Some other strategies. So according to Charmny, that to me, I also feel that any kind of methods that you want to use is all based on your own preferences. So this one is the basic principles, okay, basic ideas. If you want to use different types of technique, also can. You can use Excel, create an Excel, and then you can arrange in the Excel row. Every row have one source of it. That's also possible. Your sticky notes, yellow sticker. And then you can also use Microsoft Word lah. Use Microsoft Word to do that as well. If you want it to be not on your wall, just want it to be in the screen of the computers, also can. So you use your document to arrange your team. Last point, cite lah. Use the power of citation to improve your writing. But before you cite, you got to read. So no harm citing, giving credits to other people's point of view, especially those established persons, the experts, and then we take their idea, no problem, but we get the gist of their ideas, but we cite, we give a credit to him.